Alright, we out. We off. Hey, we in the biddy. We in the biddy. We in the biddy. Hey, we at Airbnbs right now in Miami, right? And who I'm here with in the biddy?
It's Lil Astro,
Astro. Where you from?
Denver, Colorado.
Yo, I kind of don't like you right now. I kind of don't like you right now. I kind of don't like you right now. But it's all good though. It's all good though. It's all good. Hey, bro. But congrats though. Congrats on that, bro. Congrats. You gotta congratulate the champions, right? For sure, for sure. So, what like you from Denver, right?
Yeah.
So, like, born and raised in Denver. Like, how did you get started in music and everything like that?
Honestly, in like high school, I was making beats with the homies. We were selling tapes, and like, it just one thing led to the next. I got a laptop, got an interface, mic. It's been about 10 years from now, and I'm 27 right now.
Hey, you've been making beats for 10 years, my boy.
Hey, I DJ, make engineer, make beats. I do EDM. I do a bunch of shit. So like, I've been
For sure.
kind of all over, just trying to master my sound.
Yeah.
And it took a while, but it's getting good.
For sure. So now that you started making music, right? What was like one of the obstacles like you faced doing music, and how did you overcome that obstacle? Like while we was doing that?
It's been a lot, honestly. Like in and out of jail. I got 3 kids, relationship. House to house, car to car. Just little things like that. Like there's little setbacks in life. It's like you don't have enough time. Having a 9 to 5 job. I'm an electrician, so I work early in the morning, 6 a.m. and so it's like it's hard to even put in the work ethic that people are already established in the scene that are putting 10 times the amount of work that already made it, and it's like it's hard to get to where they're at. So it's like once this becomes a full time and you're able to invest more time, then it's like all right, you can compete. But that's the one big struggle is controlling your outside life with what I mean, your dreams and what people see, and they're like, oh, it's not bringing money here and there, or it's like it's like you're not gonna. It's like I look at I did sports, it's like football. I didn't always know how to run a route or catch the ball. Like you get good over time. It's like you don't just it's not overnight. Nobody's just born an athlete. Like same thing with music. Like it's like you can't get discouraged. It's like it takes time. That's the big obstacle, time, and you know what I mean.
So a lot of people like that watch my videos and stuff. They upcoming artists and producers in Miami and stuff like that. I don't know where other people's are, but mostly the people I know they're in Miami, right? What would you say to an upcoming artist right now, right? Because the people I meet a lot in Miami, right? Here's how it is, right? They could be the best rapper right now. You meet them off the street, but it's no music out there. It's nothing out there for the people to see. What would you say to a person like that?
I know exactly what I got people like that in Colorado, and that's what sucks because I got people I grew up with or people now that are the most talented people I know, and like they can make it, but they don't know how to content or like they just want to be carried, and like they don't understand. Like when I meet these big established dudes, they talk about having 10 songs a day or a night or a week, like beats or songs. Like, can you imagine that? Like sometimes people ain't even making 10 beats a week or a day. Like so the songs and make like this. These dudes are making 300 songs a year, like catalog and released, and you can look them up. And me and my Facebook, that's just one thing. And Facebook's not even like something to worry about, but like just in general, like I don't share memes, I don't post random statuses, I just post music. So you look up my name, Lil Astro, you see the last thing about music I posted. Nothing like you don't have to look and scroll and find out. Oh, he makes beats. Like I didn't know because he's just posting jokes. Same thing on Instagram. You don't want to go on someone's page and you're with your friends or you got family or like it's cool and now, but you gotta have balance. We want people to look up and be like, all right, that's who he is. Like I can figure him out. And even me, I don't do the best at that and keeping up posting every day. Still, it's like people scroll through my page and it sucks because that's not my current sound, but that's what the industry looks for. They want to know what you're making this week, what you're doing, like you know what I mean.
Like, are you really working for real? Because the thing is, you can. I feel like it's about consistency, right? You can lock in with a person and get a hit, but this person gonna come back next time, and if you're not working, like they're not gonna get more. So I can understand that.
It's even keeping like the respect, keeping the engagement, like the algorithm consistent. Like you got to keep it refreshed. Like you know what I mean. Even if your shit popped at one point and you just thought like you can't do that, like You got to keep your shit buzzing in the feed, like, you know what I mean? Keep climbing.
So how do you go about creating content like for your Instagram or everything like that?
So I got a good gym. I was just telling the bros about this earlier. Like, so I learned this from Bricks Domain, one of my mentors. So basically, what he talks about, like, you know, you go rent a studio for like an hour or two, like a nice high end studio, like not in like 40 an hour, like something nice, like nice. And you take about 4 or 5 outfits, maybe 10 beats that you already made at the house, and you go and play them, and you change your outfits, you change your scene, and maybe hire a photographer or not. But me, I got a tripod right here, so like that's what I do. I set up a tripod.
Okay.
That's how I get my pics, you know, like so like you don't go rent a studio and spend 4 hours making a beat from scratch. You just when he taught me, you go, you know what I mean. You play that shit, and what happened for me, I was good. Not only did I get a good month of content, the dudes upstairs, the owners, just so happened to hear my beats that were already finished and played, and they were like, "Wow, I gotta fuck with you." These guys are tied in with Aaron from Atlanta Records and some people doing some big things, and you know what I mean. If I was sitting there from scratch, they probably would have just been like, "Shake my hand, hey, leave," like hi and leave. But they were upstairs like, "Oh, I gotta meet this guy," you know what I mean? Like, so it's sometimes it's like, you know what I mean, not just like not what you have, or like it's like who you know or what you do with it, because like I said, you can make these beats in your basement, but you go and brand it like this. You go put it in the studio, like, you know, people would think that beat's not worth $25. That's just 1,000, 5,000 now. But it's the same beat you made at your crib, you know. But they value it different. Like you got nice, like just your image. You know what I mean? No one's gonna want to spend money on somebody that just they don't look like. You know what I mean? Like, right. You know what I mean? Like.
So you saying that branding and like the way you present yourself and everything like that for upcoming artists is like or upcoming producers, that's something key, right?
Yeah, for sure. Cause like I noticed too, like when I stopped going like around people, like say in my sweats or like a random tee or no haircut or you know, gotta get a chain or whatever, like you get more respect. They don't even need it. They don't even need to hear your 808 or hear your song. They just want to talk to you because you look clean, like you look like you make money or you know what you're doing. Whether if you're selling drugs or I got a 9 to 5 that pays good money, like they don't. They see you in the studio. They don't care about how you got that. They look. They're like, all right, this guy's look legit. Like he looks like, you know what I mean. But they don't even hear your shit.
The way I look at that, when I look at music videos, they gotta give me something to watch. So if it's not entertaining, the fans are not really gonna watch it. Like, right? We're gonna give them something like entertaining.
It's the law of attraction, and that's the same thing I was saying, like with the content. You know, you go to the studio with the beat that you made in your basement. Yeah. It's that law of attraction, the value. Same thing, your image, like, you know, you look more, you know, more of a person that like you want to talk to. Like, you want to look like somebody that's either smarter than you or makes more money. Like, you don't want to be the, you know, the best person in the room. Like, you want to, you know what I mean? Surround yourself around people that are sharks too. Wow. You gotta look like it.
For sure. So how do you go about like getting your music out there, like getting your music heard, like getting your music to the right ears? How do you go about doing that?
Man, that's one thing I barely learned, because if you asked me that like a year ago, I probably wouldn't be able to answer it. I just been going the average route, but I mean, this last trip with that, going to Atlanta, the last Airnbnb event, kind of like this one, life changing. You know, like I went to the bowling event. We weren't even at a studio or bowling, and I met some of the biggest producers in the world, and you know, like that kind of like even like the geolocation on my Instagram, like just them me tagging them in my pictures, and it wasn't like tagging them in the beat. They were in my picture. Like Instagram saw that, and they like, I don't know, my views went up. Like it was weird. Like it was weird. Like, but like, you know, say if I'm typing tight beats, that's different. But like no, when you're meeting the person, like the system sees that. It's weird. You know what I mean? Or when you travel, like they see that. It's so weird. Like I don't know. I don't know. Like they're like organic views. That's how it kind of was, you know. And like you're meeting actual people who matter, and like, you know, going like where I'm at in Denver, like yeah, there's some decent people doing some things and whatnot, but like there's not really events where like I would have met the like some idols and big names like I did when I traveled. Yeah. And same thing coming here, you know, meeting people that are serious, that like, you know, on the same page as you. For sure. Because sometimes it sucks when your circle in your city, you know, you want to work with them or keep them around, but like it's not worth it. You want to work with. Sometimes you might end up making new friends. That's what happens. Like me and this dude, like, you know what I mean? It's like I barely met him last time, and like, you know, this is what we do, and like you meet people with the same similar interests and the same desires. Like those, you end up getting new people. Like, That's how I met, like hearing everybody else's background stories. Like they travel, like Twisted Genius, like he came from like Houston, and like other people, like now they're all in Atlanta, and like that's all their new best homies now. Like, and
You say you've been to Atlanta. Like I never been to Atlanta. How's the Atlanta music scene? One thing about music producers that I always hear, right? Like from anybody that I always hear, like yo, Atlanta music scene in Atlanta. Yo, the producers.
it was a blessing. Like I said, like the last event was just it was organized right. So like Ant Chamberlain, shout out him. We were at his event, and everybody was kind of local and they're cool with him. So they showed up. OG Parker showed up. Big idol I've always looked up to. Twisted Genius was there. I saw him the night before. This dude K6 from Trenchwork. Danny produced this. Younger Next Life. Dudes that worked like on Future's album, Chris Brown. Like some big dudes were there. Like, and it's the thing. Like, they're just not only are they down the street, but like they're like they're close and they network. They're call away. Like, it's not like it's more difficult. Like maybe here, like maybe if they're in town, we gotta fly them out. Or like here, it's like who knows what the connection you can make. Here out there, it was like everybody's they know each other. You can walk into anything. Like shit. When I was at the bowling alley, we got to meet Mimi. Like shout out her. Like she's doing some big things and it's just crazy to be influenced or be around people that have been around some of the biggest names in the scene or like biggest artists, like people that we listen to on the radio. Like it's that crazy because like you can walk around the biggest clubs and where I'm from, Denver, like ain't nobody can say they got the credentials or like that. And like and with Atlanta, bro, they're so humble. Like producers are cool. They're cool. You know what I mean? Like and they're big dogs. Like and they're cool. Like like that don't happen anywhere. Like I don't know.
So okay,
It makes me even want to move. Like what I mean? Yeah, like that one week I was here, like so much motion and like so much like there's so many events based around music here. Not just like in Colorado, we have like a huge entertainment. Like we have a lot of shows, a lot of places to go to. But here, there's like stuff for like upcoming artists or upcoming producers, like beat battles and like actual like networking and like that is you can't compete with that.
For sure.
Yeah, I was like, I fell in love with that.
Yeah, nah, I can understand that because in Miami, I think that's starting right now, but it's not as to where like Atlanta music scene is at.
See what I know about Miami, I know there's a lot of like high industry, mainstream shit here, but those are the people, those are the connections that you're not gonna walk into or like not fully established. Like Taz Taylor's here, like Hitmaker. Like there's a lot of big people here, but like Atlanta's different. Like it's like they might be big and Lil Baby's producer and whatnot, but they're not like too bougie where it's like you can't lock in the studio or anything. Like these guys are kind of more approachable out in Atlanta, I think. And even here on their interviews, like they even say like how, like of course they work with other upcoming people. Like they're not too like, oh yeah, they're starting to label. Like they don't respond to the end. Like, yeah, they're nice. They're cool. For sure. Out here, yeah, like it kind of seems like it's kind of like you're reaching for the stars. Like it's like trying to be that. It's like trying to be that lame guy trying to get in a nice club. Like you're gonna be waiting in line. Like maybe not, bro. It's invite only. Like
there's a lot of that in Miami.
Yeah. I was in my hotel and we seen 4 Ferraris parked inside the club. And same club Drake and DJ Khaled go to, and I'm like, yeah, no, we ain't getting in that. But it'd be nice. But like Atlanta, he's talking about. He's like, I know where Metro Boomin chills or fucking what club this guy and this that. It's like those you can go in the same room, the same people.
Yeah,
and that's like you can't beat that. That's like it's right there for you. You gotta ask to do the question or like what I mean, like get a picture. Like you can't beat that shit.
For sure. Okay, question for you, right? I've heard some of your beats. Your beats are hard, and I know from a producer, it takes time to develop the sound. To first off, for example, from where I'm coming from, right? First, to get the courage to start making beats, to start making the beats. Yeah, then to be consistent making the beat. Now I'm making trash beats, right? The beats starting to sound trash. I'm getting them out there. Now the beats sounding good. How was that process for you, and like what did you learn from that?
Basically, it's hard, but it's like it's developing your ear, and that's something not like everybody can learn or achieve because it takes time. It's like I used to think my stuff was dope back in the day, but it's like you got to learn like like clarity and like mixing and mastering, all this other stuff. So I do EDM too, so mixing and DJing and all that. That's where I started realizing, oh, like I start tweaking this sound is starting to hit harder. This is blending more. Like over the years, I start realizing like it kept getting cleaner and cleaner, and it was never perfect until this day. And like there's so much room to learn and to be up to par with industry standards. Like that's what it's about, being industry standard. Like, and it's not losing your confidence. You know, like sometimes it's good having people around you, like, hey, that don't sound good, or like keep growing that 808, or like something ain't clicking. Like whether they're being haters or honest, like make it to the, or just make it to their like damn, what is like who's that? That's just fire. Like make it to there's no doubt. Like that takes years. It does, and you know, it's like you got to find a formula that works for you. You know.
How important is mixing to you after you finish making the beat?
It's crucial, but with me, my workflow is different. I start with the template, so a lot of my stuff's like kind of like preset to mix and like prearranged. So like when I'm at the end, I barely have to make final like little minor tweaks, but all my plugins are already loaded and my like usual adjustments are already kind of made. I just barely got to make final tweaks, but it's definitely crucial. Otherwise, my stuff would never sound the way it did now. You know, like leveling and all that. Like I perfect that to a key. Like I'm so I'm even so like ignorant and anal about it. Like I have to have my plugins. You know, like you know I don't like working from scratch from the start, like a blank page. Like I like having a template because I don't. If I had to do the same plugins every single time, every single beat, I'll throw me back 30 minutes to an hour. You know what I mean? Even if I'm doing close, you know what I mean? It's the same thing. So like, it's all about workflow, especially when you're in the studio with people or other producers. And then, you know, they're loading up these 808s and the beat ain't smacking and they're not even feeling, so they walk away. You don't want to be like, oh, trust me, let me mix at the end. Like, fuck that. Like, I'm gonna have a template right here. You know, like you drag and drop, and that shit's already smacking when they're like, damn, this shit sounds already done. And that's how I am with engineering too. And that's what kind of like I'm an editing ninja. That's what I like people refer to as like in Pro Tools. So when I'm recording people, usually right after you're at that booth, that shit sounds almost close to done. And a lot of my artists are like wow, like that, like they're amazed, like it sounds fire. And that's what you want. Like you take that reference from recording the artist and doing the actual beat. You don't want to lose, you know, you don't want to lose interest or kill the vibe.
Yeah,
Taking too long, you know, like
for sure.
organization is key.
It's key.
You know what I mean?
I got you. So from you organizing the beat, right? You organize your beats, and the way you organize it, make it just shorter for you. So how long did it take you, or is it like a ongoing process, like to work on a template? Do you have multiple templates? Like how does that work? Because you was talking about like different workflows, different plugins, and everything like that. Like how does that work?
I just got one template for FL for making beats. So oh shoot. So basically, I got a well, my template with FL is just basically all my main drums, and I can obviously swap my sound, but they're all linked and routed to channels and boosted and or like I like. And I have like a few plugins already loaded, like say Omnisphere. Or I have like two or three of them, or you know I have Nexus or something. Like I have already loaded, so if I want to load it to a sound, I don't have to, you know, open it. It's already like there. Like, already there. So, but you know, and then I'm scrolling through sounds after that, or maybe I'm using a sample or whatnot. With Pro Tools and like engineering, that's you know same thing, like one or two templates, but all that's just based off of just the vibe. You know, same thing. You change the tempo, you change the key. Like it's mainly the template don't ever change. It's just the way you start the actual the vibe. You know.
I got you. How would you describe your music style, like in like one word or like a phrase or something?
Mm, one word. I don't know. I just go with my brand, or maybe astronomical or something. You know, like just out of this world. That's what somebody asked me. They're like, why you go by Astro? And I'm just like, you know, it's just out of this world. Like it's just because I got space. Like my main name is Astro Tech, my DJ name. So I go by Astro Tech, and it's my EDM. Okay. Like house and dubstep, but so the little Astro, that's kind of like my little off brand.
Yeah, like hip hop. Your alter ego.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like you know, that's why I kind of think like astronomical, maybe the one word.
I got you. Yeah, bro, that's good. Hey, bro, I really gotta learn a lot from you, bro. So I had one more question. So where do you see yourself in it's a three-part question, right? Where do you see yourself in the next 3 months, in the next year, and in the next 5 years?
Next 3 months, man, I hope to maybe start to land my first potential placement. I got a manager now, so hopefully we'll start getting connections going and the beat packs to the right ears. First year, next year, I mean, hopefully into a house. We're in an apartment right now. I got 3 kids, something like that. So the next 5 years, man, I hope to, be advanced on a whole nother stage from where I'm at to like on the verge of thinking of, oh, is it too late or what do I do? Or like now I kind of have a blueprint. Hope 5 years from now I have that blueprint works and it's to the point where I know what to do now. You know what I mean?
I got you, bro. If there is one word you want to leave my viewers with, so I got a lot of upcoming producers and rappers, like I told you, what would you say to them?
One word?
Yeah. It don't have to be one word. It
Oh,
can
okay.
be anything you want to say to them.
I mean, I say just don't get discouraged and don't, you know what I mean? Don't let opinions and nothing get to you because, it could be 5 years, 2 years, 10 years. Like, you know what I mean? I'm in 10 years in and I'm getting the most motion I ever had and I'm glad I never stopped.
For sure.
So, you got to make it till you break it.
I feel like with beats, it's like wine. Like the longer you in the business or in that industry, like the better, and like the more people you know and everything like that. Cause I feel like it's never ending.
Oh yeah, and then even with that, like there's big producers to this day. Like they talk about, I just placed this beat that was made 3, 4, 5 years ago. So like that's the thing. You gotta like not delete shit, have shit organized, shit ready to go, disposable. Like you know what I mean? It's not like you never know what's gonna hit.
Quick question. So you talking about being organized a lot, right? So what's being organized look like for me as an producer looking to work with artists out there? What do I need to get ready? What do I need to have in place to be like, yo, I'm ready to get a placement or not a placement to like to just get a song or to be working?
So you just gotta have your files ready. So like main thing, have a website, and preferably not just a BeatStars. Have your pro page because if somebody starts going through BeatStars on the app, they might hear your beat, but it's gonna shuffle an ad and go to somebody else's account, and you don't want all that, or you don't want people seeing the site. Like you don't want that. You want it to see your shit. So their website, blah blah blah. But like also have your if you gotta have an iPhone too. So try to have an iPhone and your files on your iPhone so you could text message beats, not just email. That's a big key I've been learning lately. Like a lot of people just like to hear beats on text messages. And so,
like and they DM like text message.
Like, yeah, it's like when you send a pack or something, you know what I mean, to A&Rs or anybody, like they usually the text message fast because they're already hooked on the aux or whatever at a big studio, or they can airdrop it instead of digging through their email, like it's in their text, like it's quick. And also having like a hard drive or everything just organized in files on the computer as far as like, all right, these are the untagged beats, these are the waves, these are MP3, these might be R&B, these might be last year's beats, this year's beats, like, or these might be East Coast, West Coast. You want to be able to like, it's clutch or have a good memory too, and also label your beats. So I label my shit name parentheses produced by me blah 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 parentheses, and I put the BPM at the end. So when I'm looking, I can see the BPM. So like even helps my memory too. So I can be like, I'm in the studio somewhere like, oh yeah, you got this sound. Like if I'm not organized, like I can know at least the name because I have the folder.
For sure.
And you don't want to have a bunch of names of beats. You're just like, oh, I don't know if it's this one because it might take too long to load the beat. Somebody else, you might lose your chance, opportunity with somebody. I heard of that many times. Like somebody was trying to load up their file and they're already on to the next. Like so. That's kind of how that goes.
I got you, bro. Hey, if I want to tap in with you, if people want to tap in with you, where do they find you?
Hey, Lil Astro Beats, I'm on IG. That'd be the best place. Hit me up in the DM. Also check out my beat store, lilastrobeats.com.
Hey, thank you, bro. I appreciate it, man. Much love.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Hey, that was amazing.